Well, while it's off the car, I think it's probably a good time to have a quick look at the exhaust that Ollie's managed to source. It's a cracking exhaust. To be fair, it's exactly what we needed. Temporary stock exhaust for the MX, so it'll go through the MOT hopefully okay. There was an advisory last time it went through because Ollie had his big bore exhaust on it. Although it did pass, it did say that it was a bit noisy. So I think for the sake of the neighbours when we get it going again, because it was a little bit barky first thing in the morning, we will put the stock one back on again. Quick look at it. I mean, it is obviously it's used. The guy was turbocharging, I think, or supercharging his Master, so he took this off, put a bigger exhaust on. He also gave us a radiator, which I'll show you in a minute, which has not been on his car very long, which is brilliant. So ours has gone a little bit brown, although it works fine. Probably another job we can swap out. Hopefully that'll avoid any future issues with that. So that was brilliant. Obviously both of these were quite expensive, but I think Ollie managed to get them for 40 quid for both, so happy days. Obviously there is some corrosion naturally with any exhaust system that's not a stainless steel setup. It is exposed to the elements at all times underneath the vehicle, but while it is off, I think I'll probably just give it a quick once over in certain places with some Genelite, just to sort of slow it down a bit. I know it probably doesn't need to, and it probably only buys weeks rather than months or years anyway, and it's probably all snake oil anyway, but I'll give it a coat of Genelite just to try and slow the rust down a little bit before we put it on the vehicle. So I'm using Genelite Rust Converter. It is the original one, as it says there. There are many cheap alternatives, but they don't have the consistency that this one does. They're a lot more watery. This one is pretty good, and it takes about 15 minutes before it starts to cure and react. I think it was about 10 quid, 12 quid maybe, I can't remember. I've had it a while. A bit of a stir because it has been set for a little while, so they do separate unfortunately in the shed. Genelite products, so if you move them around a bit, agitate them, they do begin to go back to the correct consistency that you need, which is a kind of a white milky consistency. When you apply it, obviously don't go too crazy with it, but it will start to react after about 10-15 minutes, and it goes initially sort of a bluey colour, a blue creamy colour, and eventually it will go black as it starts to react and slow the rust down a bit. As I say, probably not needed, but while I've got it off the car, it's not going to hurt to do it. Just do the hangers a bit again. They're probably the strongest bit of the wells to hold to the vehicle, but blast this out, paint everything that you can see that look rusty. The chemical reaction is pretty quick, and it does go sort of a creamy bluey colour as it starts to react, and I'd say it will go completely black when it's done. You can paint over it or spray over it if you wish at that point, but this is just ready to slow the corrosion down a little bit, if it makes any difference at all. And any other spots that you see, just cover them over. Feel like Tony Hart. But if you have any spots that you see, just cover them over. It won't hurt to slow it down. It doesn't matter if you put too much on, just rub it around, it will thin out. Ultimately most of this will be underneath the car anyway, so you won't see anything. Even if it does come up black, it's not on show. I did something similar with the power steering cooler on the Calibra when I put that on. It's not in the video, but I did it afterwards. It just protects it a little bit because it is exposed to the elements. Could do this for ages. It's very therapeutic. Maybe might even put an ASMR video of just doing this up. See if anyone watches it. Okay, so we're back again now. It's been about an hour. It's all cured and gone off. As you can see, a lot of the items are a purpley colour, like a bluish colour. That's where it's all gone off on the bits that I have treated. Some bits obviously have gone better than others. You can do with another couple of coats, which I will do. But you can kind of see where it started to react and actually kill the rust. So maybe 1 or 2 more coats, and that should be good. You may be able to hear there's a massive bee behind me, so as long as it doesn't land on me, I'm all good. Well, that's pretty much it. So just a short video today, really, to show you what you can do on an old exhaust, just to make it last a little bit longer if it's not on the car, and hopefully some of you might find that useful. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye bye.